Bryan Danielson is all Elite Ace.
It was all out, and we went all out.
Bryan Danielson is good, but he's no Kenny Omega. I'm sorry. No. Bryan Danielson, you got to come in here and prove yourself again.
Look at the matchups right now. Daniel Bryan versus CM Punk. Daniel Bryan versus Daniel Garcia versus Jungle Boy. Daniel Bryan versus Kenny Omega versus Dax the Axe. Matt Jackson. Daniel Bryan and CM Punk versus the Young Bucks. Daniel Bryan and CM Punk versus Young. There's so many possibilities.
I'm talking some Bullet Club reunion, baby. Adam Cole is back with his friends where he belongs.
Sir, you're spewing blasphemy. Bullet Club is dead. We don't talk about the Bullet Club no more. It's all about D Elite. D Elite. Break it down. D Elite. The beginning of that match, I did not like it. I thought it was watching WWE. When he did those rest holds, your boy was like,
no, that's a problem. You got to learn. That's part of the appeal of the match. You have a master technician. What is up, everyone? Welcome to this week's episode of the Weekly Fitness Show. My name is Beefy Supremo. To my left is a dashing debonair out of D-Town. Love A-Styles.
It's your boy A-Styles.
And we are in bliss. We are in wrestling heaven because All Out has given us the night of our lives. A hot Chicago crowd, a hot wrestling night. Everything you could want out of this sport. Ace.
Let me tell you something right now. It felt like I just had a wrestling show or a buffet. I feel so full. I feel so good. All I need is a Tony Khan hug, and that will complete my night. Ladies and gentlemen, it was all out, and we went all out.
And I want to start off with the biggest news in the wrestling world. Bryan Danielson is all Elite Ace. Bryan Danielson is one of us. He is here. He is now. Ace, what's going on?
The Elite, let me tell you something. The paradigm has shifted. All eyes are on AEW. This is the biggest signing in all of AEW history. Bigger than CM Punk. Bigger than Adam Cole. And I tell you why. In the span of 1 year, Daniel Bryan turned from headlining WrestleMania with the rated R superstar and Roman Reigns to now ditching all that and returning back to the American Dragon and coming to AEW. What more can you say?
Bryan Danielson made his debut in AEW after an epic encounter between Kenny Omega and Christian Cage. Bryan Danielson said, "Give me my WWE theme." They're like, "You got it, bro." And he was like, "Give me some big booty music right after." They're like, "You got it, bro."
Big booty.
They're like, "Let me come out after Adam Cole." You got it, baby. Bryan Danielson got everything he wanted. After the event, they said, "Why are you here?" He said, "CM Punk said he's here to help people out. I'm here to kick everyone's head in." Bryan Danielson is officially here to make some classic matches. I want to know, in the scope of history, is this bigger than the NWO? At this point, we got every former WWE megastar signed. What do we go from here?
And I'll tell you what, CM Punk said in the media scrum, he says, he sees the comparisons, right? He sees Bryan Danielson and Adam Cole joining AEW, and he sees the comparison to NWO. But he said it himself. He said Bryan Danielson and Adam Cole joining AEW is bigger than Hulk Hogan and Kevin Nash and Scott Hall joining WCW. And I agree.
You agree?
And I'll tell you why. I agree. Bryan Danielson brings a level of just pure wrestling to AEW. If we look at the matchups right now, Daniel Bryan versus CM Punk, Daniel Bryan versus Daniel Garcia, Daniel Bryan versus Jungle Boy, Daniel Bryan versus Kenny Omega, Daniel Bryan versus Dax the Axe, Daniel Bryan versus Matt Jackson, Daniel Bryan and CM Punk versus the Young Bucks, Daniel Bryan and CM Punk versus the Lucha Bros. There's so many possibilities to go here from, and I'll tell you what, it's not like WWE, which is not going to give us all these dream matches. They're going to give us these dream matches. It's only a matter of time, baby.
Well, if we're talking about dream matches, we're talking about reinventing yourself in this new atmosphere. I noticed something peculiar, man. All Out was great. The fans were ready. They chanted yes all along. Yeah. But I did not get a yes back from Bryan Danielson.
No. No,
So
and that's something that I'm glad you brought up. Because
why?
Why? Because I'll tell you why. Because I felt that, right? We're so used to seeing Daniel Bryan coming out, doing little yes chants, doing all that stuff. And I didn't feel that. The mannerisms that Bryan Danielson came out, the little certain promo he did after the show. This is a new Daniel Bryan. This is a brand new Bryan. This is the American Dragon. This is the American Dragon who's a cocky SOB. He knows how good, and he talked about it in the media scrum. He said, I know I'm good. Everybody knows I'm good. And I see people here in the league, and they say they're good. But are they that good?
Of course they're that good. Let me tell you something. I'm tired of all these people acting like they're better than everyone else. Bryan Danielson is good, but he's no Kenny Omega. I'm sorry. He's no Hangman Page. He's no Penta Cero Miedo. Like, no. Bryan Danielson, you got to come in here and prove yourself again. All right? Last night proved that AEW is on top of its wrestling game, and Bryan Danielson has a lot to prove. I don't want to hear that he's better than everyone. I don't want to hear any of that until I actually get some action in the ring. So,
wow.
That's all I'm saying. But,
wow. So you say you mean to tell me that he has big shoes to fill?
Of course he has big shoes to fill. And I'm going to take it a step further. This is not bigger than the NWO because Bryan Danielson is known to wrestling fans. I'm sorry. Yeah, our little sister doesn't know who Bryan Danielson is. People like outside of wrestling don't really know who this is. Kevin Nash and Scott Hall were known names. Like everyone knew who that was. And Hulk Hogan was a well-known name. So I think you have a lot to fill in. I think for us diehards, it's a big deal. I think we know that this is going to take us to the next level. But Bryan Danielson needs to prove that he could make it work. Because, you know, it's kind of like the Bill Belichick-Tom Brady comparison. Did the WWE make Daniel Bryan? Or can Daniel Bryan make it anywhere on its own? I don't know.
Oh, man. I am just, wow. Wow. Being Supreme, laying in some knowledge. I'm gonna give the credit where it's due. This is my shucky ducky quack of the moment. I'll tell you what, Daniel Bryan has always been my top 5. He's always been my top 5 in the greatest of all time. But you're right though, and I tell you why, because the WWE style of wrestling is way different than what we're seeing in AEW. And I'll tell you why, because if you go back and watch a Chris Jericho match in WWE and a Chris Jericho match now, they're completely different. They're way different style of wrestling. So you're right. You know, Daniel Bryan has been in WWE for a long time, and they put a rocket on his back, and he's been the top dog. This is a whole new situation here. We have cats in here who are chomping at the bit, who are wanting to make their names for themselves. This isn't a Shark Tank full of little minnows and baby sharkies. This is a tank full of sharks.
How many animal references do you have, man? You got kitties and minnows talking like some Bigelow out of New Jersey. All right, did Bryan Danielson make this a 10 out of 10 for you, though?
The overall pay-per-view?
Yeah.
This is the best pay-per-view I've ever seen in my life. I will get into that later. I'll tell you that much.
Well, we're going to address this in question of the week. I think you've gotten a little crazy. But another reason why this was potentially the greatest pay-per-view of all time is because we have the return of Adam Cole, baby. And when I say return, I don't mean to AEW. I don't mean into the Dynamite households every week. I'm talking some Bullet Club reunion, baby. Adam Cole is a big part of the elite, and he is back with his friends where he belongs. Talk about a swerve. Talk about shocking the system. Adam Cole had the people in the palm of his hand, and I am happy. I am ecstatic that he is back where he belongs. Ace, what did you think?
Sir, you're spewing blasphemy. Bullet Club is dead. We don't talk about the Bullet Club no more. It's all about the elite, the elite. Break it down, the elite, the elite. And I tell you why. I was scared.
What? Why?
When Adam Cole came out and he was looking at Kenny, because we forget, for those of you who watch BTE, Kenny Omega killed Adam Cole.
Yeah, but we know that's not true. Here's the thing. I've already told you this a million times. I know Ibushi and Kenny took care of the Young Bucks at one point. I know Adam Cole got killed on BTE. But you know what? These are die-hard friends. I've told you a million times.
I know
A
you said that.
world without Kenny and the Young Bucks together is not the world I want to live in. And a
No, I
world
agree.
where Adam Cole returns and he's not with his friends is not a world I want to live in. So,
No,
baby, let's enjoy this timeline.
No, I agree, and that's what I'm saying. Like if you saw today's BTE, you saw that Kenny Omega was trying to resurrect the dead, and by God, he did. Can we?
We're reunited, and it feels so good, baby.
It is, but can we just talk about how amazing, like just the magnitude of Adam Cole coming to AEW? We talk about Daniel Bryan, right? We talk about Bryan Danielson coming, but this is huge, though, right? This is the fact that this man was, and there was rumors and speculation that he was in meetings. Well, not only Triple H, but Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon was throwing him the kitchen sink and everything. They said, yo, you're going to feud with Edge. You're going to go against WWE. Like, they were giving him the whole caboose. And that man said, no.
No, but that's not what happened. They didn't throw the kitchen sink. They threw a few tidbits here and there. The truth is, if they did throw the kitchen sink, it came without plumbing because this man wants his independence. Adam Cole did not get the full experience here. He wants his Twitch. He wants his Twitch account, and that matters to him. That matters to a lot of wrestlers because they're independent contractors and they make money on their own. WWE wants to control them without hiring them as full-time employees. And Adam Cole said, this matters to me. This is important to me. I'm a big name. They could not give in. They told him no. And you know what? He's probably like, my friends made a badass company over here. I'm going to go hang out with my friends. I'm going to go hang out with my lady. I'm going to have a great time. And the crowd is going to follow me. And they did.
It's so crazy you say that. It's so crazy. Vince McMahon could not sign a guy because he wanted to play video games, and Vince McMahon said no. What in the flying hell are we going on in WWE? But think about that, though. Think about that. Like he, and if y'all have not watched the media scrum, watch it after you watch this video because I'm telling you right now, he talks about how amazing. Like he's been backstage in AEW for a while now. He goes and supports Britt Baker as much as he can, and he talks about when he's backstage and when he's around Tony Khan, when he's around the Young Bucks, he feels like he's at home. And why wouldn't you, man? You're working with your best friends. You're working with your girlfriend. Like, come on, man. Like, what more could you want in a work environment?
Well, I want to know what more can the Elite want because they also found their Adam, Ace. This whole time, Adam Page thought he was the right Adam, but that's not the Adam we wanted. We wanted Adam Cole, baby. This is exactly what we want. Now we have a super, super elite. And I've said this a million times. We need some lady factions. I think now is the perfect time to get our girl Britt Baker, who just won her match against Chris Statlander. She is a top dog in this field, and she belongs in the Elite. What do you say? Is it time to start a new power couple in AEW?
I'm not going to lie. What you just said is very good. I am excited. Let's bring in Britt Baker. Hopefully we can bring back Adam Page because Adam Page is the only one who's not looming in. Man, oh man, but we'll see what happens. But I will tell you one thing. You talk about the power couple. You talk about Britt Baker. Britt Baker, you was on notice because Ruby Soho finally arrives in AEW.
Oh,
she has
man.
been tweeting out stuff on her Twitter. She's been talking about taking the train. She has been talking about coming to somewhere. Where will the destination lies? Where will the destination leave her? Well, ladies and gentlemen, the destination arrived when she came to the Women's Battle Royal and she won the whole shebang. And now Britt Baker, she coming for you, daddy.
Ruby Soho had been warning us for weeks that she's taking the train all the way to Chicago, and that's exactly where she arrived. And she made an impact, man. The crowd was behind her. She has a great look. She delivered a great performance, and she won. She won a title shot. So now you're right. She saw notice. I just mentioned Britt Baker having a great match last night, and she won as well. So are you looking forward to this? Do you think Ruby Soho has enough to actually take down Britt? Because I don't.
Seeing Ruby Soho come out of that in the entrance and tearing up and just seeing her smile, man, you got captivated by that. I'll tell you what, me personally, I did not like the booking of that match.
Okay.
Honestly, I was rooting for my girl Thunder Rosa. That's just me.
Yeah.
That's just me. But I understand that we have Arthur Ashe in through 2 weeks, and so they have to put a big marquee match. So I can see Ruby Soho go against Britt Baker. I'm ready for that. It's going to be a great test to Britt Baker. Britt Baker has only been defending this title this is her second time, I believe now. So she has a lot of stuff coming after her. I'm excited for this match. We'll see what happens, and I'm excited for Ruby Soho to go against.
This is good. This is good competition. I mean, I've complained that Red Velvet is in competition. We have some people that just aren't in competition. All right, Swole is in competition. We need some real big names here to actually go one-on-one with Britt Baker and establish her as the main eventer that she is. And I agree. I think Thunder Rosa should have won this. From the reports I've seen, Thunder Rosa is supposed to bounce back into a feud with Britt Baker next year. So we got time. All is good. Our girl Thunder is all elite now. So all is great. Ruby Soho got her shot. She'll be fine. And again, the crowd reacted excellent. We have a great show in Arthur Ashe in a few weeks. So I think this is a feud to go with. I wouldn't even mind if it made events that night. So by all means, I'm down for that. But
I like it.
I like it too, Ace. Another thing I'm down for is nostalgia, Ace. Because last night, our boy CM Punk came back with a banger of a match, and he paid homage to the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be, Bret the Hitman Hart. CM Punk delivered a classic, honestly, one of my personal favorite matches that I've ever seen out of CM Punk's career. What a doozy, man. He came out, and it's been all over Twitter. It's been all over Instagram. Bret Hart famously fought the 1-2-3 Kid in a good back and forth match back in the days in the 90s. And everyone's showing how, like, this match was move by move. It was that. He recreated the match, Ace.
Yeah. Can we talk about 7 years, right? 7 long years. And Beef Supreme brought it up, right? The nostalgia in this match, it almost felt like I was watching 1-2-3 Kid versus Bret Hart, and that's exactly what it felt like. Nostalgia hit so much home with the CM Punk match. We talked about this here last week. We said it's one of those matches where CM Punk has a lot riding in this match, right? All eyes were on CM Punk. Can you still go? Can you still deliver? Can you pull a great match? And he did. He went out there. And he delivered.
And Darby Allin gets a lot of credit, man. Darby Allin carried a lot of that match. Like, he is phenomenal.
Yeah.
I think this sparked the debate with everyone online because it seems like a lot of the guys growing up were Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels fans. And it sparks a debate again as to who is the true greatest. I think this shows exactly where they fall. I think Shawn Michaels is for everyone, and I think Bret Hart is for the diehards. And I think CM Punk showed that. CM Punk studied Bret Hart. He wore a T-shirt of Bret Hart this week. He wanted to go in there and pay homage to this man who showed us all what it means to make art in that wrestling ring, and they made art last night. That crowd loved it. And can I just say, this match happened after the Soho debut. And so Ruby Soho got the whole crowd happy, like they were already exhausted. And CM Punk did a type of match that can only be classified as cerebral and methodical. He went in and slowed down the pace and then brought everyone back. Mwah!
And I will tell you that, and this is me being a new school cat. The beginning of that match, I did not like it. I thought it was watching WWE. And I'll tell you why. Because when he did those rest holds, your boy was like,
no, that's a problem. You gotta learn. No, you gotta learn. That's part of the appeal of the match. You have a master. You have a master technician. Yes, you have a master technician who's trying to slow down this guy who throws himself everywhere. You just gotta let it breathe, baby.
That's what I'm saying. I had to let it breathe like a little bit of pancito.
No pancito. But a minor note. CM Punk did come back and beat a young up-and-comer. Ace, yes. Is he doing what The Rock was accused of doing when he came back?
No. and I'll tell you why. If you go back and watch that match, there was one person who got put over. And that was Darby Allin.
What the hell? You can't talk like this.
I'm sorry, and I'm sorry to say this. But Darby Allin looked and felt like $1 million.
What's the difference between that and The Rock? What's the difference?
No. I'm sorry. It just there's
So what's the difference? Because The Rock went 1-on-1 against CM Punk at the Royal Rumble, and you could argue if there was one person that got put over in that type of match, it was CM Punk by The Rock.
I agree. I just
so you agree? You don't think that The Rock
I
is
agree. The difference is that this wasn't for the title match. Right. That's the only reason why I say it's a difference. There was not a title match here. It was just to see if he was really if he could still go. He won one match in his comeback. Can he do it again? That's the key. Can CM Punk do it again? We'll see what happens.
So are you okay with CM Punk continuing to beat all of our established stars that we have been supporting for the past 2 years?
Stars. I don't think he's going to beat all the established stars.
Okay. But you're okay with him beating one of them?
One of them is fine. But I do see Darby Allin coming back for a rematch and beating CM Punk.
Oh, I don't think it's the rematch at all. I think Darby Allin moves on to like Malachi Black, someone different. And CM Punk needs to move on to something else, baby. We got to keep this ball rolling. We have too many dream matches, baby.
Ooh. Not Malachi Black. Tease me softly, brother. Man. Okay. And then after teasing me softly, we talk about Kaze Ninare. Our boy Minoru Suzuki has come for a fight. He looked at Jon Moxley straight in the jaw and said, I'm coming for you, daddy. He came in. The whole crowd was singing. It was right after the match. And oh my God, if you don't know who Ichiban, number one, the king, Minoru Suzuki, he's here in AEW.
That was, can I just say, mad props to the crowd. You know, Kojima went up against Jon Moxley, and the crowd gave him a great response. Suzuki came out, and the crowd also popped. It's crazy how we're in this world of, like, we have WCW money, we have ECW fandom with, like, a TNA WWE roster. Like, we have everything stacked up. And the crowd eats it up. The crowd eats it up.
Bros of wrestling. What more could you ask?
Well, again, for everyone that doesn't know, Suzuki's known as like the violent innovator of the world. This guy could take anything, man. And I think Jon Moxley has had this obsession with like just taking on everyone from Japan for some reason. Yeah. I feel like the pandemic really got to our boy Moxley because this guy desperately wants to go to Japan. Like he really wants to go out there.
Yeah, he does. And Tony Khan being the forbidden door just keeps opening the doors.
Oh, that door's gone, man. This is a hallway, baby.
It's a hallway now?
There's no door. It's a two-way street. Jon Moxley couldn't go to Japan, so they brought Japan to him. I feel like Jon Moxley is about to give us... Now, at this point, I expect Okada to be back by full gear. We're just going to keep going. Moxley is making all this happen. Tony Khan said Moxley was not in his plans. He never expected Moxley to sign with AEW. Yeah. And then once he did, he brought all of these things that you wouldn't expect. And this is one of them. The crowd enjoyed it. I was happy. Good stuff, man.
I just love that this pay-per-view had a little bit of everything, right? We had the New Japan stuff. We had the CM Punk stuff. We had Darby Allin stuff. We had the Daniel Bryan, the Adam Cole, the Ruby Soho. There's so much sprinkled in. Like, legitimately, this was a buffet for wrestling fans. Seeing Minoru Suzuki come out and the crowd was singing his song and they so like it's so great, man. It's so good. It's just I can't wait for this match on Dynamite. Dynamite is already gonna look like a stacked baby.
Honestly, yeah, these Dynamites are going to start looking like 2003 Raws and SmackDown, man. Like, these rosters are insane. But you're right. This show had a little bit of everything. But the main thing it had was a match of the year, Ace. The Lucha Brothers up against the Young Bucks in a steel cage. By far, the night got made by this match. Match of the night. Potentially the greatest tag team match of all time. Potentially the greatest tag team cage match of all time. Potentially the greatest cage match of all time. Like, my goodness. Talk about legends. Our boys, the Young Bucks, deserve respect. Lucha Brothers deserve respect. They laid it all out there. And for a group of four that gets criticized for, throwing themselves everywhere.
Not monkeys.
They didn't do that much. There wasn't that many, jumping around. There wasn't that many spots. Honestly, they showed that less is more, and these guys showed they can make any system work.
That was arguably the best cage match I have ever seen. And I'm sorry, put that up against any cage match you've ever seen in your life, and then watch that match. And I'll tell you why. We talk about psychology. We talk about in-ring chemistry. We talk about everything that was built up in that match. There was a story being told. We talk about how when we watched The Rock versus Hulk Hogan, if you mute the TV, it's not the same. You can mute that match and you will still be on your feet going crazy. And I'll tell you why. Because that's how incredible these four athletes were. They put it all on the line, right? It was a roller coaster of emotions. It was from false finishes to the lows and highs. Who was winning? The whole brother versus brothers. It's just a beautiful. It's Oscar worthy. It's Emmy worthy.
It's Oscar worthy.
Like that. If we talk about Broadway, that was Broadway.
It had a little bit of everything. And again, for guys that are known as spot monkeys, that have been criticized as spot monkeys, the Lucha Brothers, when they first started in AEW, people criticized them that they don't know how to do a proper tag team match.
Yeah.
They went in and they did a little bit of everything, man. The little segment where they're both when they're all four are in the middle of the ring, just laying blows at each other. The pile drivers on the corners that they did. We only had one plancha off of the top rope by Rey Fenix. Like, everything about it. And then we had a shoe with thumbtacks. Like, there's so many little segments in this match that just like made it iconic.
And that's what I'm saying. It's storytelling in writing, right? It's visually storytelling. You watch the match from start to finish. You're going in there thinking Young Bucks is going to win this. They got the Lucha Bros numbers, and my God Almighty, what a match! The Lucha Bros have won, and not only that, can we talk about the entrance that the Lucha Bros created? They had Mikey Ruckus and all that stuff coming out there. The beautiful Mexican attires that they have out representing their country, and then the ending of the match when when Penta's daughters and his wife were just crying tears of happy, like, wow, come on. Come on!
We had baby Pentas come out and hug their daddy. Like, talk about a great scene. It was just beautiful, man. Question: is this better than Young Bucks versus Kenny and Hangman?
Wow, that man, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. Okay. I have to reevaluate those two matches, but I will say, arguably, I don't care what anybody says, Young Bucks is the greatest tag team in the history of this business.
Young Bucks are the greatest tag team.
They are. They are.
They are. I thought Walter had the match of the year this year, but no, you know what? This is by far
this classic. Is match of the year, hands down. Match of the year, hands down. And not only that, the new tag team champions, they said they want another one, but this time they want a hair versus mask match.
No, we can't keep doing this. They already had the Ladder of Muerte match early in their careers. Like, let's stop this. This is too much. I can't handle it.
I'm scared.
But
I'm scared.
Ace, they weren't the only ones that put on the clinic last night. We talked about Punk. We talked about the Young Bucks. Everyone went all out. Chris Jericho proved he's as good as he once was. Wait, it's a Toby Keith song. Chris Jericho proved he's as good once as he ever was. There you go. Chris Jericho last night went all out. He ended up winning the match, which some people online didn't like. But you know what? This match went a good solid 20, 25 minutes. It told the story. He put over MJF for like the past 3, 4, 5 weeks. Like, it was time for Jericho to get a win here, send the crowd happy. Ace, do you agree?
I agree. And I think this now changes the guard in the sense where now with Chris Jericho beating MJF, it's now time to focus on what's next for Chris Jericho. And
are we finally done with Inner Circle?
I think I'm not saying we're done with Inner Circle.
Okay.
I'm not saying we're done with Inner Circle. I'm saying I think it's time for Chris Jericho to step a little bit back and let Sammy Guevara take that spotlight he deserves, because he's a one white hot babyface, and it's time to get these guys that are in the Inner Circle and push them to the moon.
Okay, no, this is dumb. This is what I don't like that people are doing with Jericho. That's why people wanted him to lose, because they're like, it's time for him to take a step back. Why the hell would Jericho take a step back? This man put this company on his back. This man still sells tickets. This man puts over every talent that he goes up against. every segment of his goes up in ratings. That's why he's called the demo god. Why would he ever take a back seat now? That is the most absurd thing and non-logical thing I've ever heard.
Who does he go against now?
There's plenty of competition. We just signed like 5 guys.
Who?
There's a lot. Okay, I just want to say, the Super Elite just became a thing. All right? As far as I'm aware, the Inner Circle is the biggest space group we have. Let's get that going, baby. Jericho could still go up against Adam Cole. He could go up against Malachi Black. He could go up against anybody in that roster. Jericho is money. He should never take a step back. If Sammy wants that spot, then Sammy better step it up. This isn't charity, baby. Let's go.
Damn. Okay. You got me there.
And you told me that. Where does MJF go?
I think MJF definitely. It's time for MJF to slowly start ascending and start to get his wins. MJF is a top
What do you mean his wins?
Business.
Yeah, MJF hasn't lost. MJF has only lost once last night. He beat Cody. He beat every single person you put up against. What do you mean he?
I know. That's what I'm saying. It's time for MJF to go after either Miro or go after the title or go after somebody. It's time to rack up those wins. Honestly, CM Punky.
I'm tired of MJF.
You get it.
No, last night Jericho proved that he's the draw. I'm tired of MJF. MJF got to get to the back of the line again and start over. I'm tired of this.
Well, hey, you know what? Something that would. Well, look, all I'm going to say is this: Chris Jericho put a hell of a match. I'm excited what goes still. But, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the question of the week, and that is All Out pay-per-view the best pay-per-view of all time?
First off, anyone that leaves a comment, if you say yes, you're crazy. You're crazy. And you have not been watching wrestling long enough. What the hell? How is this a great? Can I just say, we've been talking about All Out. We're excited about what happened. Not once did we talk about the main event. Not once did we talk about Christian, the guy who's supposed to be the #1 contender. Why? Because no one cares. And that's supposed to be the greatest pay-per-view of all time. Get that doo-doo out of here. Every person knows WrestleMania 17 is the greatest show of all time at the height of the Attitude Era, with everyone and their mamas and their granddaddies watching the show. It doesn't get better than that, Ace.
Sir, your nostalgia is talking.
It's not. Sir, my logic is talking.
Sir, your nostalgia is talking. I'll tell you why. Yes, WrestleMania 17 is arguably the greatest WrestleMania of all time. It had everything you want. But, I'm sorry, fam. There is nothing. We talk about a wrestling buffet. When is the last time that you went into a show so excited, you went into it so happy, and you come out even more happy, and even to the point where every match delivered? Every match
delivered? Oh, where's a review of QT Marshall and the Big Show?
It wasn't a great match, but it was a good match.
No, not every match delivered. Let's stop lying to ourselves. If every match delivered, the world title match would be the main thing we're talking about. Christian and Kenny Omega is an afterthought. You're going to compare that to The Rock versus Stone Cold Steve Austin in the height of the Attitude Era? You're going to compare Christian versus Kenny Omega.
Okay, I agree with what you're saying that the main event was great, and I agree with that.
But this is the greatest of all time? Come on, man.
But I'm sorry, fam.
What are you?
I'm sorry. All Out was better than WrestleMania 17.
I know you think that people are nostalgic. I think you have recency bias. And the truth is, an event like this, it's great. Everyone's happy. I'm happy. I had a great night, man. I had a great, fabulous night. But let's keep things in perspective, baby. Is it maybe the best pay-per-view of this year? Sure. Best pay-per-view of the past 5 years? Sure. Maybe even the past 20. No, not 20. 18 years. All right. But it doesn't get better than the dream match of Rock versus Stone Cold. It just doesn't. It just doesn't. I'm sorry.
Look, I agree. I agree with what you're saying that the Rock and Stone Cold is on a league of its own. I get that. I feel that. But I'm sorry. All Out, man. It's just there was something about this show that we're going to be talking about it from years and years to come. I'm asking you, the viewer. I'm asking you. You heard our takes. You heard our take. We talking about a wrestling buffet versus the greatest main event of all time. You decide. You tell us in the comments. Let us know what is All Out the best pay-per-view of all time. If not, what is the best pay-per-view of all time? Let us know in the comments below. And while you are down there, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit that notification button so that you, that's right, you, the viewer, can know when a new episode of this show is up and running. Believe that.
Believe that. And can I just say, WrestleMania 17 was its own buffet. That was a Vegas-style buffet. I'm so tired of this. I'm so tired of all of you.
Can y'all please roast Beefy in the comments, please? I'm begging you. I'm begging you. I'm begging you.
Like
well, ladies and gentlemen, you already know what it is. Make sure,
follow us. Get us out of here. Eh?
Make sure you follow us. Not only that, this show, that's right, this show is available on all your different podcasts or wherever you get your podcast, whether it be Apple Music, Google Music, SoundCloud, Amazon Music, Spotify, wherever the hell you get it, whether you with your mama, your daddy, buddy, granny, you can listen to me and Beef Supreme. What more you need?
We got him riled up. Now I got to deal with this off camera. All right, Ace, fun week. Thank you to our producer. Everybody have a great week. Let's keep this party going. We'll see y'all next week.
See y'all next week. Peace.